We continue creating the series of creating the checklister project, and we came to this sidebar from the mockups. Here I'm showing the client mockup again. So my day, important and planned here on the sidebar. So any task could be added to one of three of those. And on the sidebar on the right, you can see that if I click the task, I can add it to my day, add a reminder, add a due date or note or star. So 5 actions. And in this video, we will take care of add to my day. And this time I decided to do it a bit differently since this course and live coding thing takes quite a lot of time, much longer than I expected in the very beginning in terms of YouTube series and course series. I will try to write the code behind the scenes and I will show it to you step by step. So instead of video taking 20 or 30 minutes, it will take 5 or 10 minutes to save you time, but I will still give you the full information step by step. So how did I implement add to my day? Refresh, and here are 3 menu items: my day, important and planned. Only one of them is actually working. Important and planned are kind of planned for the future. So if you click the task, you can see the sidebar for that first task. If you unclick, it's hidden again. You click second task, for example, and here you can add more actions, but again, only one of them is working. So I've made kind of a mock-up HTML or Bootstrap for like preparing for those, but add to my day, only that one works. If you click that one, this changes to remove from my day, and this number, not sure if you see that, changes to 1. Also, I can click remove from my day, and this goes back to 0. So add or remove, stuff like that. So how did I implement that in the code step by step? So I will show you how to open and hide that sidebar on clicking of the task. And I will show you with GitHub desktop software, which is visually will be probably the most clear way of showing that with differences instead of just showing the code. So what did I change? We had a checklist show blade component, blade of the Livewire component, and it was 1 column. So I've changed it to colMD8 and added another colMD4. And here we have a variable current task, which I will get to in a minute. So if it's not null, if we do have current task chosen, then I'm showing that sidebar with and star HTML icon instead of just showing icon. Then another icon for, what was that? Let's open that. So for sun, for envelope, for checking, and for notes. So I've found those in HTML icons. And then if the current task has added to my day at, this is a new field in the database. So if it has that field, then we remove from my day, otherwise we add to my day. So it's kind of like on and off toggle link. And then a few more links which don't work yet. So how do I open that sidebar? In the checklist show component, we have a new variable called current task, which is from model task, and that question mark comes with newer PHP version. I think it's 7.4, which means basically this type or null. And we assign the null in the mount method, but then on clicking of the toggle task method, it is actually toggle task method. This is where I would probably should show PHP Storm version. So in this toggle task method, we can actually get the current task back to null if it's closed, or we change the current task to the one from the database, and if it doesn't exist, we create that on the fly, the current task for the user. So we replicate it from the admin task. And that's all we need to do to show the sidebar. Next, if we go back to the blade file of that component, what is wire click prevent add to my day? Add to my day is a Livewire component method. So we get back here into checklist show. Add to my day looks like this. It's really similar to complete task, which is above. Actually, let's open PHP Storm here. So complete task, you should remember that from previous lessons. One thing I've changed though is in the previous lesson, we made the change of update the completed add to delete. So we delete the task if it's uncompleted. But with other changes, it's not the case anymore. We have more fields in the tasks. So we get back the completed add to null because we can also add it to my day add. And here's where I get to the migrations. So migration adds added to my day add as nullable, and also it should be fillable in the task model here, added to my day add. So we will have added to my day add, then planned add, important add, and a few more fields. So that means that if I uncomplete the task here, I should not delete that, I should update that here. And then add to my day is basically checking if the task exists. If it does exist, we toggle the added to my day add to now or null, and we fire the event. We will get to that in a minute. Otherwise, if the user task doesn't exist, we create that, we replicate that from admin task, and also save. Now, what is the user tasks counter change? This is a Livewire event caught in the sidebar. We need that to change those numbers here on the left sidebar. And let's see the changes for the sidebar. So in Menu Composer that powers all the admin and user menus, I added another variable of user tasks menu, which is responsible for all those three items on top. Then in the menu service, I populate that menu service, and by the way, I fixed another thing, so user completed tasks. By the way, in each video I notice and fix small things, so I will just mention that user completed task is a separate new relationship in the checklist, so I'm getting only the completed tasks. So that was renamed a bit, but then at the bottom I populate that user menu. So for non-admin, I have three menu items: my day, important, and planned. And all of those have name, translated name, then the icon, and then the tasks count. So we get all the tasks from user. So here we have a collection, and then we can filter that collection, like in this example. So tasks count for my day is tasks were not null, added to my day add, count of that. Later in the future videos, we will work with the same collection without querying the database again. So we have user tasks menu, and then in the sidebar blade of that, we do for each of that user tasks menu. And we show that menu with the icon, with the name, and with the Livewire component for the counter, which has parameter of task type key, and key may be, again I will repeat that, key may be my day, important, or planned, one of those three. And then we have a new Livewire component for user tasks counter. It accepts the tasks count as the first number, and then it accepts task type. So again, when we call that in the sidebar, we call task type, which is my day, and tasks count calculated the first time, but then it can be changed. So when I click add to my day at the bottom, again in the Livewire component, this emit the event of user tasks count change. This is the parameter which one to change out of those three. And then there's another optional parameter whether it's decreased or increased. And then in the component of user tasks counter, I listen to that event. So user tasks counter change fires the method of recalculate tasks, which checks if the task type is the one that we need, is the one that we currently work with. We increase or decrease tasks count based on that parameter again. If we click again, I will demonstrate you again, add to my day, this now is 1. If we remove from my day, this becomes 0. So these are the changes I've made for this time. Again, if I try to code it in live mode, it would be like 30 minutes at least. So I've shortened this video to kind of a summary, but you can also take a look at the code. That is all public on GitHub. The link will be in the description. And that's it for this lesson. In the next lesson, we will continue with those features of starring, reminding, due date, and note, and also we will make those menu items actually working and showing the list of my day, important, and planned.